All right. Finishing the Kamishibai Man, we're going to do a comprehension check on that, which also happens to be a flip book again. So if you want to, go ahead and get out your scissors. Doesn't feel like I have enough copies of this.
There should be enough because we have.
Oh, there's just enough. Okay, so when you get this paper, go ahead and fold it hot dog style. So the long, skinny fold. So just like this, so that this is on the front and the little flaps then will be on the back. On the front here it says, "My comprehension flip it." Underneath that it has names, so write your name for me please. And then you can flip it back over to this side. Now what you're going to do on the dotted lines, just cut to the fold. Don't cut both sides. If you need to open it up so that you don't accidentally cut both sides, that's fine. And just cut to where you folded it. And then you've got your flip it made. Then you can put your scissors away. And we'll take a look at the side that you are finishing up cutting or that you've just finished cutting. Okay, so let's look through these now that you have them cut. The first flip it page has 2 questions on it. The first question that you'll answer on this back side of it here, once you flip it open on these lines, is where do Ji-chan and Ba-chan live? That's the first thing you're going to answer. Now, do you have a lot of space to write your answers? No. So we're not going to worry about complete sentences, okay? So you have to tell where Ji-chan and Ba-chan live for the first part of this flip it page. The next question asks, what does it mean when Ji-chan says, going on my rounds? Look at the second flip it with me. Why does Ji-chan think he took a wrong turn? You're going to answer that in this second space. It's going to be easier to leave all your other flip-its closed except for the one you're working on. Okay? The third flip-it question, there's 2 of them, ask, how do the illustrations of Ji-chan change? Oh, guys, do you remember talking about that? I think we talked about that last week. Pay close attention to G-Chan in the pictures. You remember talking about that?
Yeah.
You're gonna tell how it changes, how G-Chan changes in those pictures throughout the story. And then you're gonna tell why the illustrator did it that way. Why does the illustrator do this? Why does the illustrator show those changes? The fourth flip it asks, what are TV antennas compared to? So you're going to find that spot in the story where it talks about the TV antennas and tell what they are compared to. And then think about it. Why are they using that comparison? That's the second question. Why is this comparison used? The third question on the fourth flip it there asks, do the TVs affect G-Chan's job? The last flip it has two questions. What is a flashback? And why does the author use a flashback in the story? We talked about those changes. Remember how they show G-Chan differently throughout the story? And I had told you that those were G-Chan's, don't say it out loud. A flashback is what the word is that we talked about last week. Do you remember us talking about that? I'm going to see if you can remember that. Okay, so if you run out of space when you're writing your answer here, you can always use this part of the flip it. Okay? Look on the back of your flip it. There's two boxes, right?
Yeah.
On the first box, you are going to draw your favorite character. And in the bottom box, you're going to draw your favorite part of the story. Are you probably going to need to use your book to help you answer these? I would guess maybe so. To help you double check, go ahead and get out your Journeys book. You know how sometimes we take a test after we read a story? This is kind of what I'm using for our test this time.
We used a lot of flip books.
We did do a lot of flip books this time, didn't we? Okay, any questions about this, friends?
No. Do you,
Yes.
do you have to, so do you have to do this first or do this?
I would do the questions first and then do this last. Okay? Haley?
What do we do when we're done?
I didn't hear you.
What do you do when you're done?
What do you do when you're done? What do I normally have you do when you're done? Haley? Read your chapter book. Yeah. Because we need to be working on getting AR tests taken. Oh! That's what you could do after you're done with this. Just take an AR test on the Kamishibai Man. Remember, when you take a test on the Kamishibai Man, we have to go to the HMH edition on AR. I'll put that on the board for you.
Because there's two versions.
Is it the Kamishibai Man?
It's
Or is it just Kamishibai Man?
It's a beast.
Kamishibai Man?
There's nothing. What there's not
I think that there is. I think, wasn't it HMH edition?
Yes.
Isn't that what our other ones were?
Yes.
All right, so you'll take the AR test after you complete the Flip It. All right, any other questions? Even though my back is to you.
Will we be timed?
No. But those of you that are usually slow and zone out, if you're not done and we're still waiting and waiting and waiting, then you'll have to work on it during recess. Okay? All right. So it means you don't have an unlimited amount of time, but I'll give you enough time so that at least the majority finish up. Are you wanting to ask a question?
Can we sit around the room?
You may, but you may not sit so that you're facing someone or so that you are close to someone. Okay? Any other questions?
No.
All right. Oops. Go ahead and get started then, friends. If you finish your Flip It and your AR test, then read a chapter book.
Which should take majority of the time.
Probably. Make sure you are answering every single question on each of the Flip Its. Don't skip any of them. Is it okay to ask me a question if something's not making sense on there? Yes, please do. All right, I will be quiet and let you work.